Alright, so I'm going to talk about in this video kind of a basic orientation to a hospital floor. I'm going to pediatrics, so I'm most familiar with a rainbow. So let me draw my really junky model of what rainbow even looks like. Bear with me. So rainbow's divided into three different pods. There's an A pod, oops. So there's an A pod over here, which is the 400s. There's a B pod over here, which is the 500s, and there's a C pod over here, which is the 600s. And each, where I put each letter is a nurse's station, and that's usually where you're going to find the hospital charts. There's also resident workrooms. So if this is the 6th floor of Rainbow, there are two workrooms here. There's the green team workroom. Sorry, I'm clicking with a mouse. So there's the green team workroom, which is cardiology, GI, metabolism, and also the general pediatric service, or PCRS. There's also the blue team workroom right around here, right there, blue. And that's endocrine, neuro, epilepsy, and ID, as well as the general PCRS service. This blue team's here on the 6th floor. Right below it on the 5th floor is where orange is. And the orange team is pulmonary and renal. And on occasion they have general ped service depending on the season. Other things to know where they're located. The big thing is the elevator lobby. And this is generally where staff people are going to come through. This is the main patient elevator lobby, and here there's the playroom where playing Xbox with your patients is legitimate therapy. And then, of course, the ever important bathroom is important to find. Wow, that was awful. And if that bathroom is being occupied, there's another bathroom in this direction down the hall. And then I guess the final thing to talk about is there's a treatment room on each floor as well in Rainbow. I think the treatment room is located somewhere here right next to the green team room. And in the treatment room is where you'll do any procedures that you need to do, as well as your otoscopes can be found there, various other supplies, etc. So that's the hospital floor as a whole in general. Let me also orient you to a patient room inside of Rainbow, and it's generally pretty typical no matter what hospital you're in. So of course you'll have a door and a hospital bed. And a hospital bed typically is electronic, so you can move the head of the bed up and down by pressing certain buttons. Some of them will let you extend the bed longer or shorter depending on the height of the patient. And you can there's like a control panel over here that'll let you do that. Patients usually also have a remote, it's a little remote, attached to the wall that they can hold on to. It has the nurse's call button, it has controls for the TV, which is usually at the foot of the bed, volume control, channel control, all that kind of stuff. One of the nice things going into a patient room is when you're sitting down and talking to them is to mute the television, because that can be kind of distracting. Another thing to note is most patient rooms have a whiteboard. One of the things I like to do is write down the plan for the day on the whiteboard. TV. And this, so if in case patients forget while in the midst of you throwing all this language at them, they can always look at the whiteboard and know what the plan for the day is. And then the code button is usually found in every single room. If you wind up walking into a room and a person does not look good, you can always pull the code button if you can't, if you scream for help and no one else is coming to help you. Alright. I think I'm going to pause right there and then talk in another video about your typical day as well as your patient's typical day coming into the hospital.